Here's something surprising we discovered about GPT-3's ability to answer complex questions. So we have a prompt here with a question and answer pair, and we're going to ask it, what is the top-level domain of the birthplace of Plato? And GPT-3 is going to answer this correctly, which is really surprising because we strongly believe that this information did not explicitly appear in the training set. And if you play around with these types of questions, you'll notice that GPT gets a lot of them correct, but it doesn't always get them right. For example, here we're going to ask it who the president of the United States was when Billie Eilish was born, and it's going to answer incorrectly. And you might think that this is happening because it either doesn't know when Billie Eilish was born or it doesn't know who the president was that year, but that's not true. So we can ask it when was Billie Eilish born, and it says 2001, which is correct, and then we can ask it who the president was that year, and it's going to say George Bush, which is also correct. And so it knows the two basic facts, but it's not able to reason and combine them to answer the compositional question. And so to test out this phenomena, we generated 8,000 of these compositional questions, a data set that we call Compositional Celebrities, and we ran them all through GPT-3, and it was able to answer about 30% of them right, which is pretty good. But the interesting thing is that for each of these compositional questions, we can take the two facts that make it up, and we can ask it about each of those separately, just like we did for Billie Eilish. And on the two separate facts, it gets a much larger percentage of those pairs correct. And so we call this gap the compositionality gap. And for roughly 40% of these fact pairs, it knows the two facts correctly, but it can't answer the question that combines those two facts. And the really interesting thing is that this compositionality gap does not narrow as we increase GPT-3's size. And so the model is getting bigger, it's remembering more facts about the world, but it's not able to reason about them better, which is really interesting and surprising. And so the solution that we offer in the paper is our self-ask prompt, which takes these compositional questions and answers them by first breaking them down into simpler sub-questions. And here the answer is correct for the same Billie Eilish question.